Hi everybody, it is April and I am in my craft room and hopefully you can hear me. I am trying something new. One of the quilts that I have had on my list for a little while now is this simple plus quilt. How cute. So on the front, the quilt is white and there are gray crosses or plus signs. And then the back is this bright floral. This is the perfect way to build this quilt for somebody who wants to maybe do some free motion quilting in all that open space, negative space, I believe is what they call it. I'm not ready for that yet. So this is what I'm going to do. I was looking up in my stash because, I got plenty of it. And I eyed this. And I thought what I would want, if I'm not going to have a solid in that negative space, then I wanted something very bold. I think this fits the bill. It is a very bold floral, and it is from QT Fabrics. Now I need something for my crosses. And my first thought was, a coordinating blue, which this doesn't really coordinate, but you kind of get the idea. Or this, which does coordinate, and I love that look, but those colors are very close together. And this is another one. Love this look. But my fear is the bold will overtake these coordinating colors and you won't even really get to enjoy them. So what I decided to do was go all traditional and do a white. But of course, not too traditional, so it's going to be a white on white. And those are actually, I think, supposed to be snowflakes, but I am going to look at them as paint splatter because that's my fave. So my background will be this big, bold print, and my crosses or plus signs will be this white. So the white will stand out in that big, bold print. And then what I would like to do, if it works out, is I would like to take one of these or both of these. I don't know exactly how I'm going to do it, but maybe use that as a border because I think that would be really pretty. It would be really pretty on the back, but as you can see, I don't have enough. So that's what we're going to do. Let's get started cutting that fabric. I did not mention this is a free pattern. It is from Emily Dennis. I will leave a link in the description below so that you can go get this pattern. Let's go through what it is you need for this pattern. So for the plus fabric, you need a yard. And she said this is exact, add a few inches for miscuts. So I'm good. I've got better than a yard of my white. Background fabric, 3 5/8 yards. I think I'm going to be okay with that. That's almost as much as I usually get for a backing. But I'm pretty sure I've got it. Let me measure really fast. Is there anything I can do really fast? Not really. There's a lot. It must have been on sale. Okay. Dude, ow. No. 3 5/8. I don't even know what 5/8 of a yard is. Hey. I have 3 yards, 3 inches. You know what? I wonder if the borders... The borders are probably... Yeah, so the borders... Really? If you can see, the borders are the background fabric. And I'm not wanting to do my borders with the background fabric. So I think it was meant to be. All right, and the cutting seems pretty straightforward. So you have 4-inch squares in the corner of your background fabric, and then you have a 4-inch square of your cross on the top. Would you like for me to share the picture? Would that make it easier? Probably. Well, all right. If you don't want a challenge, I can do that. So you're going to have a strip of 4 inches by 11 through the center. Then all 4 corners are going to be your background fabric, 4-inch squares, and then you have a 4-inch square in your cross fabric or plus sign fabric, and a square 4 inches in your plus sign fabric. So cut 9 4-inch by width of fabric strips. From these, cut 4 by 11-inch pieces, then cut 36 4-inch squares. Sounds pretty straightforward. Background fabric. Cut 6 11 by width of fabric inch strips. From these strips, cut 17 11-inch squares. Oh, because the background fabric is also just a square here in between the plus signs. Cut 5 4-inch by width of fabric strips. Cut 42 4-inch squares from these strips, and you should have a total of 72 squares. And here are your borders. Cut 7 5.5-inch by width of fabric strips, which I'm going to be using something different than my background fabric. As you can see, I have all of my fabric cut out. Here are my 11 by 11-inch squares of my print. I've got 72 4x4 squares. I have 36 4x4 squares of my cross fabric, and however many, because I don't remember now, but 4-inch by 11-inch strips of my cross fabric. So now I need to put these together. Now these 11-inch blocks will go in between the blocks with the cross. So these don't need anything else. They're just going to be sewn in. So I'm going to set those aside. Now let's put together our cross block or our plus block. So I need 4-inch white, 4-inch background, 4-inch white, a 4 by 11-inch strip. Okay, this is so wrong. This goes here. See, it's a good thing I'm laying this out. Lying. Good thing I am trying this before I sew. Okay, and the top and the bottom row look the same. So we have this and this. And when it's all sewn together, it will look like my plus block. And this block will be sitting right next to it, giving the illusion that this just flows into this part. And of course, there will be another 11 by 11-inch block on the other side as well. I am going to chain piece the white with the print and the white with the print, and then add this block by chain piecing. But I will be back to show you the finished plus block. I have sewn all of my plus fabric, or all of my plus blocks, I should say. And they are not perfect in size. So what I want to do is I want to trim them down to make sure that they are the same size as my 11 by 11 inch print blocks. This must have been somewhat expected by the author. This is my kind of author, because it says, if your plus blocks come out smaller, where mine actually came out bigger, than 11 inches, you can trim them all to the exact same size so that your quilt top goes together nicely. And then when you trim them, keep your plus centered when you're trimming. So that is what I'm going to do next. And I am going to make the assumption, yes, I am going to assume, even though I know what it does to you and me, I am going to, and please pardon the glare, I'm going to line up along the plus fabric or the white fabric and just trim off the excess of the print, because this should put me exactly the right size. Why do I say that? Because this piece of fabric here, if I cut it correctly, is 11 inches. As long as I do not trim either side of this long piece of my plus sign, I should be good. And the other way, I don't have any differences. So there you go. Let me finish trimming all these up, and then we're going to take it to the design wall. My blocks are all trimmed, so I am going to take these to the design wall, and let's see what this quilt is going to look like. And we'll pick out a border. All right, let's consult our handy dandy pattern, assembling the quilt. So I'm going to start with a plus sign, a solid, a plus sign, a solid, and a plus sign. All right, so let's put those up there. The reason that I decided I wanted to push it more towards the center is because I almost forgot we have borders that we need to include. So that will be coming up shortly. All right, let me put the rest of these blocks. So the second row is going to be, oh, I almost forgot the last one on the first row. I thought it looked a little small. Okay, there's our first row. So the next row will be the opposite. It will be our print, a plus sign, a print, a plus sign, and I bet you can guess what's next. A print. Is that print not absolutely gorgeous? All right, let me finish putting these up, and then we'll test out the two different borders. Hopefully one of them will work. All right, I don't know if you remember, but here were the two options that I was thinking about. So let's hold them up, see what we think now. So we've got a blue stripe. When I cut it, this is what it would look like as the border. I like that. I think that looks good. Let me zoom in so you guys can see it a little better. So here is that one. Okay, now let's try the other one. Now I can't see it from as far away as you, but tell me in the comments which one you like better. I think I know which one I'm going with. And I'll leave it as a surprise when I show you my quilt top after I'm done putting it all together at the end. So that is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to sew all my rows together, and then I'm going to add the border, and my quilt top will be complete. I'll be right back. My quilt top is complete. This is big. It's been a while since I've made one this large. So you can see I did choose the blue stripe. I think this looked better, maybe didn't detract from the print that was in the center of the quilt. So that was what I chose. Is that what you chose or what you thought I was going to choose? Let me know in the comments. First, I would like to say thank you to Robin Leach, who sent me an email with a video attached showing me the quilt that she'd made. I loved it. It was awesome to be able to see her, to hear her talk, and to see what she had done. Robin, thank you so much for sharing that, and thank you for the coffees. Thank you, Rosemary, for letting me know that you were going to make your first quilt. I am glad that you found my channel and that something while you were watching inspired you to do that. Make that first quilt and please email me a picture of it. I would love to see it. And Lisa Bosnian, Sherry Hale, Michelle, and Robin Leach, thank you for keeping me caffeinated by buying me cups of coffee. Back to our regularly scheduled programming. I've also picked up the backing that I'm going to use for this quilt. It is a 108-inch backing. And I thought that it matched pretty well. Now I know that you don't have to match, but I like for there to be some kind of coordination between the front and the back. There are actually two quilts. I do get that, but you know me, I'm matchy-matchy. What can I say? Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Eat some chocolate and be kind to everyone. Until next time, bye. I don't know where to put it. I don't know where to put it. Anyway, okay, back to our little bleh.